My name is Stacey J. Johnson. Again, I'm your wellness host. I am so happy to be here at Essence again this year. And you all look amazing. Absolutely. I just feel good. Thank you. So if we can, we want to make sure we stay in the vibration that Melanie just left us with. And a part of that is respecting the space for the next upcoming speakers who are equally as amazing, okay? All right. So the next chat we're going to have, how to heal yourself with medical marijuana and CBD. Her name is Dr. Lynn. I love that name. It's just simple, Dr. Lynn. She's the founder of Ask Dr. Lynn. With over 8 years of experience in emergency medicine, Dr. Lynn educates communities across the country on the multiple benefits of cannabis as medical treatment for chronic pain, mental illness, seizure, and inflammation. She created Ask Dr. Lynn and its user-friendly website to identify, evaluate, and recommend medical marijuana to qualifying patients. Her medical knowledge and progressive approach to pain management and digital media presence distinguish her as one of today's leading voices for medical cannabis policy reform. Without further ado, and she's so cute, Dr. Lynn. Thank you so much. All right, here you go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am blessed and humbled to be here. Thank you for this experience and sharing your time with us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon at Essence Wellness House. First ever activation at the 25th anniversary of Essence. So this is important. We're so happy to see the support. So that way we know, since it's sold out, we got to do this again next year. Am I right? I like to get a temperature of the room. I like to see who knows a little bit about marijuana, a little bit about medical marijuana, CBD, THC. How many people have smoked in here before? Hands up. Hands up high. All right, I love that. How many people have tried CBD before? Okay, how many people use it daily, use it in their regular regimen as a part of their preventative and wellness care? It's okay. It is a beautiful process. It is a beautiful process. Good. So we have a little bit of familiarity. We have some new patients who are interested, who are willing to learn. I think the most important thing on our journey today, we're doing a journey through healing. And we want to use CBD and medicinal marijuana in place of some of our opiates, some of our narcotics, some of our daily Western medications that we've been told we need to use. But we all know we can heal ourselves through our mind and our body and our spirit, right? And we also know there are alternative ways to do that, including medicinal marijuana and CBD as an anti-inflammatory. Let's take 1 minute, put our hands over our hearts, close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and blow it out. Release whatever is on your mind or your spirit today, what's holding you down. Open your mind and free your mind and be willing and open with no judgment to talk freely in our space, because this is a safe space. So we want to continue to create that, okay? We're going to be taking questions intermittently. Let's get right into it. So I got to give you a little background. I got to give you a little science about the THC and the CBD, so we know what we're dealing with. All of this is derived from the cannabis plant, right? From the cannabis plant, which is the genius, that's the actual plant that grows in the ground. You can grow marijuana or you can grow hemp. Hemp has very low THC. What's THC, ladies and gentlemen? THC is the one that gives you what? High or low? High. So THC is known for giving you that euphoric high, making you feel high. Also is known for its psychoactive properties. Whereas you have marijuana that has a higher content of THC. The majority of hemp that you see on the market, the CBD is derived from hemp because it has minimal to no THC content and a higher amount of CBD content. What's CBD? Yes, it's that one that no one can pronounce, cannabidiol, right? CBD is cannabidiol, and it has that anti-inflammatory property. So that's what we love CBD for. Let's see. Oftentimes I'll have my patients, especially my older generation, come to me and say, I want to do CBD oil. I don't want none of that marijuana stuff. I don't want none of that stuff that's going to get me high, right? Not realizing CBD is derived from the cannabis plant. It's derived from hemp, derived from marijuana, right? So you cannot separate the two. But in your thought process, saying CBD oil is safer to a lot of people than saying I want to try marijuana, right? What you really want to say and what you really want to talk about is what is your intention behind using this? What do we want to achieve while we're using this, right? Are we trying to decrease our stress level? Are we trying to decrease our anxiety? Is our goal today to release common pain, whether that's back pain, joint pain, knee pain, neck pain, anything that is chronic in your pain? Or was our goal today to try to minimize that? So let's talk about our intention with our physicians and our prescribers and our healers. Let's talk about what our goals are. And that way we can lead you in the right path and in the right direction. We all know that CBD is available everywhere now. I can go to this gas station right on the corner and get a bottle of CBD oil, right? I can go into Walgreens and get some CBD topical cream. It's in everything. It is in facial products. It is in beauty products, cosmetics. You can even get CBD slushies and drinks. You can even get CBD coffee, right? So we know that there's a wide practice for using CBD, and it is projected to be a healing component for an anti-inflammatory purpose. What we want to do is make sure that the CBD they're giving us is the CBD that's in the bottle, right? But nobody wants to spend $100 on snake oil, all right? So no one wants to come out feeling like I'm trying this, I'm investing this money, and I'm not getting the reward or the benefits that are promised. This is all a trial and error process. This is an investment in your health, and you want to make sure you're starting with and choosing the right medication. Because this is medication, right? We know that this can heal you. We know that this can help you. We've all done the research. We've all looked around. We see that this has flourished over the last 10 years. And the amount of scientific data that's coming out now, that's just proving what we already have known for years. CBD and THC have been used for centuries, used to help heal pain, used as an anesthetic, used in childbearing, used to minimize your stress. So these are not new medications we're talking about. We've just identified them and started to categorize them in the medication realm. And that's why physicians are now speaking about them, right? Can I get an amen? I need my audience to talk to me. I need a little bit of interaction. I need to know that you know what I'm talking about. So if I need to pull back and I need to redirect my focus, or we need to go back over that point, you let me know. This wave of having medicinal marijuana is important because we now have 33 states that are medicinally approved and 11 states that are recreationally approved, right? So if you live in one of those states, you have amazing benefits to start taking advantage of these things. And now, as recently, you've seen TSA started to allow people to travel with CBD oil in their checked luggage. You're seeing regulations in politics and policy. You see the 2020 ballot. This is a major discussion about marijuana and how we're going to come about with a universal plan to help make sure that it's legalized nationwide and that every state can benefit from it, not just the 33 that are medicinal or just the 11 that are recreational. In addition to that, you'll notice that the states that have medicinal approval, there has been a decrease, a 15% decrease in opioid prescriptions. Me as an emergency medicine prescriber, this has helped me tremendously. I get pill seekers all the time. I get people just yearning what is listed in the bottle. Because CBD is not a regulated item, regulated meaning by there's no FDA approval, it's not necessary to have a universal board that says you must comply with certain regulations. Because CBD is not a regulated item right now, people can put out anything they want, and call it CBD oil. I could put olive oil in a bottle and call it CBD oil because there's no overlying company that regulates what I'm putting in that bottle and selling and marketing to you. I can put it on the internet as CBD oil and put coconut oil in there. You would never know, right? So the goal is one way to avoid being tricked by purchasing a product that is well overpriced, because we're not talking about a $15 product. We're talking about $75 and up for any bottle of CBD oil. So one way to avoid that is to make sure that you request and demand third-party lab testing. Any product that is put out has to have been tested in a laboratory, and it should have a list of every single component that is in that bottle and what percentage of CBD is in that bottle, right? You can take that, and you should be able to verify it. Companies should be able to provide you with a third-party lab testing. When I say third-party, I mean an independent lab company, not the company that produced this bottle. You got your one company like, hey, I made this. Let me go ahead and give you a list of what's in it. That bottle should be independently tested by another laboratory that should be able to verify this is exactly what is listed in the bottle, and you should be able to cross-reference the two. That sounds like a lot of work, right? Because nobody comes into the hospital asking me for Percocet and then asking me how much Percocet is in the bottle and what is the percentage of it and how do I find out? Because there's a level of trust with narcotics that have been present for a long time. There's a level of comfort with using certain medications that we have used for a long time. And there's a level of trust amongst brands and names, right? We don't necessarily have that with CBD yet because we don't have an overall governing body that is helping us to identify snake oil from coconut oil, from olive oil, from real CBD oil, right? So we have to take that ownership for ourselves. Remind me of your second question again. So medical marijuana, the question is it less potent? Medicinal marijuana comes in various strengths, and that's what's beautiful about medicinal marijuana. When you go get your ganja off the street from your boy who sold it to his boy that gave it to my grandmother and now I'm using it, you don't know what percentage of THC you're getting in that, right? You know you're smoking it and it makes you feel good, but you don't know what exactly you're smoking or how potent it is or less potent. You just know whether you got a good batch today or you got a bad batch, right? What we do with medicinal marijuana is it's grown under lights in greenhouses. So it's regulated, and it helps to grow certain strains, and it allows for crossbreeding. And all of this is intentional. It's done with purpose. It's done with direction. So when we grow the marijuana, we're able to test it, and we're able to concentrate it down into vape cartridges, into tinctures, and we're able to tell you the potency because we can tell you how much is in it. So the question is it stronger or less potent? It can be whatever you need it to be. You can get an 8-to-1 ratio. You can get a 5-to-1 ratio, CBD to THC. You can get a higher percentage of THC if you have a higher tolerance. So that's really good about going to the dispensaries because you're able to really pick and choose with the guidance of your experience and also your bud tenders. They're able to help you choose. Don't forget about your physicians. What is best for you? Okay? I'm going to move on right quick and tell you a little bit about the process. So, number one step to getting approved for a medical marijuana card, you have to have a comprehensive medical evaluation. CBD and THC is not good for everybody. Just because it sounds good and it's promoted to make you feel better, people can have adverse reactions to it. There's a lot of things that interact with CBD. Some of the most popular ones are Coumadin, which is a blood thinner, HIV medication, certain cholesterol medications, alcohol. There's interaction with CBD, so you want to make sure that you're staggering when you're taking your medication. I do this to say that your physician that's prescribing for you should be able to take a look at your entire medical history and your vitamins and your oral supplements and tell you what is the best time to take your CBD or THC and so that it does not interact with what you currently use. After you get that, let's see if you have a condition that qualifies. Remember, there's only certain medical conditions that qualifies. It's not good for everything, right? It's been proven to be good for many things, but it doesn't heal everything. So as we said earlier, chronic pain is important. Seizures, cancer, difficulty eating and drinking, nausea, appetite suppression. It's also good for ALS. It's also good for ulcerative colitis. It's also good for pain related to pelvic syndromes, right? So there's a lot of great benefits and diseases that qualify for CBD and THC use, but you have to make sure you have one of those diseases in order to start using this medication, especially when you're doing it in a state that is medicinal. Arthritis? Absolutely, because arthritis would be chronic joint pain, right? Definitely. So how do you find a doctor? How do you find a good doctor? Somebody who cares, somebody who wants to teach you, somebody who wants to help you on this journey. Start with a certified physician. Every state has a department called the Medicinal Marijuana Registry where they have all the physicians who are approved to prescribe medical marijuana in that state. Choose from that list. Choose somebody that is good location-wise for you that you can access. Choose somebody you can get on the phone that you can have a face-to-face visit with. Don't do this, over-the-phone consultation and start prescribing. No. Do you do that when you go see your regular physician for your checkups and your annuals? You just do a quick FaceTime visit or you just do a phone call and say, hey, you're a candidate, let me get you prescribed. No. Touch your doctor. Feel their energy. Make sure that they are in agreement with what we're moving forward with and they are committed to starting this journey with you. Yes. So let me repeat the question for those who didn't hear it. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your truth. She went to her OBGYN and she asked her OBGYN about medicinal marijuana, asked them about using THC as a pain and a healing method. And her physician made her feel bad, right? Her physician made her feel like, why are you doing this? Why are you interested in this? I don't think this is the best choice. There are many other alternatives. Your physician did that because your physician was inexperienced with the product and your physician was shamed and your physician did not know and was uneducated. And that person did not know how to inform you because they themselves haven't invested the time to learn about what our patient needs are. So in order to cover up my inadequacies and say, hey, Megan, why don't you try something else? Why don't we try another pain medicine? Let's use Tramadol. Let's use Vicodin. Let's use something else. She did that or he did that because they didn't know themselves. So they can't teach you what they don't already know. So with that being said, every physician should at least take ownership. And if I can't teach you, let me refer you to somebody who can. Let me point you in the right direction. And if they can't do that for you, let's go ahead and use the registry, the medical marijuana registry that's available in your state. So go online, search Department of Health, Medical Marijuana Registry. You should be able to access a full physician list of prescribing doctors who have self-taught themselves about medicinal marijuana, who can heal and start to educate and inform the group. So that was all your physician was doing. He or she was covering up for their own personal faults. All right. I want to be fully transparent with this team and with my group here today. This is not an easy process. This takes a lot of work, a commitment from you and a commitment from me. I'm not going to get it right on the first time. What we're going to go in is we're going to go on this journey and we're going to commit to trying. There's trial and error. You're not going to try your first dose of CBD oil and wake up feeling great. What we're going to do is go low and start slow because we never want to come in with the highest amount. Remember, this is a cash business, so everything that you're paying for out of pocket is your own cash money. There's no medical insurance that accepts this. You can't go into the dispensary with a credit card even. You have to go in with cash, right? So this is an investment. I want you to use the minimal amount of product that gets you the maximum relief. That is always my goal with you. Let me say that one more time really clearly. Minimal amount of product to achieve maximum relief. So that way your cost is minimized and your efficacy and your compliance with continuing to do it is at its maximum potential. If I can't do that, then I'm just overdosing you. I'm overdosing you, which puts you at a higher risk for side effects. And we don't want that. Because if you try something that makes you feel bad, what you going to do? You're going to stop taking it. So we're losing our compliance. We're losing our trust. We're losing our faith. You're losing your faith in me as your prescriber, and you're losing your faith in this actual medication that you just spent probably $100 for, right? All right, another issue, travel time. Trying to get to the dispensaries. It's not every CVS and Walgreens around the corner. You got to go out your way around the corner, down the street to get to the dispensary because they're only located in certain zones. So travel time is an issue in actually getting to the dispensary. Solution for that, let's utilize the delivery method. Let's utilize the actual dispensaries that have delivery services. Let's utilize things where you can purchase online and they can deliver it to your home. Save you some travel time. Let's be efficient in our process. And finally, the inaccurate level of information out there is wild, right? You're getting all different kinds of he said, she said, I should trust this, I should not trust this. Go with what feels well in your heart. Feel that you have a connection with that person that you're talking to. You should feel like that with anybody that's taking care of you, whether that's emotionally, whether that's physically. Whatever they're doing for you, if you don't feel right, go ahead and close that relationship out and search for a new provider. So make sure that you are investing in yourself and investing in your health. One thing that I found that we really need to do is minimize the shame. We want to minimize the shame in using marijuana. You know how many mothers I get or how many parents I get that say, oh, I only smoke at night after my kids go to bed because I don't want them to see me smoking, right? I see a couple closeted people in here like, I don't want to smoke because I don't want them to smell it. Things like that. Let's minimize the shame. Let's open up the discussion. Let's free the plant, right? We want to be able to use our medication when and wherever and when and how we need to. We don't want to feel closeted in our healing because this is your journey to heal yourself. So you want to make sure you're using your medication as you need to. Especially in our older population, they're worried about the stigma of marijuana. Marijuana formerly has been, projected to be a gateway drug to lead you into stronger medication like crack, not medication, but stronger drugs like crack and cocaine and heroin. It's been projected as a gateway drug. As we all know, that's not the case. If that was the case, we wouldn't have 33 states that say right now medicinal use is appropriate. This is a part of our self-care. This is a part of our healing. I got 3 important points that I want to talk about right quick before we take a few questions. We're talking about mental healing, physical strength, and also intimacy. So there are 3 categories that are hot topics for medicinal marijuana use. We already know about mentally that cannabis helps to relieve our stress, relieve our anxiety. We know physically it helps to improve our stamina to be able to work out. And you know how that goes? You have to smoke 1 hour before you work out or within 4 hours after you work out. It's not going to give you a boost to make you say, hey, let me go to the gym. It doesn't do that at all. We all know that. What it does is it improves your recovery. It minimizes your soreness. It minimizes your aches so that after you work out, you don't feel depleted and you feel like I can go back tomorrow and do this again. So physically, it's actually healing you from the inside out in terms of minimizing your soreness. Let's get into intimacy. Let's get into this sexual performance conversation. This is critical how often we don't talk about this. Marijuana is an excellent, excellent way to enhance your libido. It's an excellent way to give you that uninhibited feeling, to make you feel euphoric, to climax, to maximize, because you are freeing your inhibitions. So marijuana is an awesome alternative to help you do that. Better than ecstasy, better than using any Molly. You can use marijuana and have the same effect without the addiction process and without the after effects for the side effects, right? Our goal always is to use the minimal amount of medication, so start with microdosing, because all you know, especially my men out there, if you smoke too much or get too high, that thing's not coming up like it used to, right? It's not as strong as it used to be. So we have to make sure that we are using microdosing to achieve your maximal relief. I want to take the last 2 minutes that we have to open up the floor for any questions. Any questions? I want to try to get to as many as possible, and I will be here afterwards to answer. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So let's talk about it. Thank you so much for the question. Her question is, microdosing, and how do we accomplish that with the various ways to deliver medication. We know there's edibles, we know there's oils, we know there's vaping, we know there's flour, we know there's creams, we know there's patches. Talk about it, whatever you want to talk about. There's some way to get it up in you. Whether you're doing a suppository, whatever it is, you can get marijuana into your system, right? Vaginal and rectal suppositories, let's be clear, either or, right? So the difference with all of those methods is the delivery system. Things that go under your tongue immediately absorb into your mucosa, get into your bloodstream faster, and start to deliver its purpose within 90 seconds. Versus if I do a pill, a medical marijuana pill, it takes at least 30 to 60 minutes to get absorbed through the stomach, and that all depends on how much I ate earlier, okay? So there's the delivery system, which affects the absorption, which affects how it is affected in your body and how it's manipulated. I'm going to take a few questions afterward because we definitely don't want to go into our next presenter's time, but I want to sincerely thank Essence and sincerely thank you as my audience. This has been a journey and this is a major platform and our patients want to know. So thank you for your support today. I'm Ask Dr. Lynn. My name is Dr. Safia Lynn Lassiter. I practice in Florida, but you can catch me online and Instagram. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful day.